Hello, hello, hello. Excuse me. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Well. Charles and Godzilla down under. So, let me see here. Who was here first? Olive Perry, thank you so much for being here first. And as always, thanks for watching Royal Sussex. Elaine Parker, thank you for being here. And Novi D is here. Carol. Sharon Skinner, thank you for being here. Well, I don't think it's going to be that many of us. Hello, Hazel Jones, thank you for being here. Given the title, I think most people are going to stay away. And for some reason, I don't think there's a lot of people in Japan that watch Royal Sussex. But again, given the title, I think a lot of people are going to stay away, especially Japan. I mean, you've seen what that creature has done to Tokyo, right? Yeah, so again, not the same reptilian creature from beneath, but close enough. Close enough. Okay. All right. There was a little echo there. I don't know if you've heard it, but if not, so much the better. Okay. Perfection. Wait, what a minute. Wait, I'm sorry, what a minute. Wait a minute. Great to be here. Thank you very much. And 37 months membership. That is incredible. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for trusting Royal Sussex for 37 months. Greatly appreciate that. I know. I mean, seeing that they have survived the ice ages, I should have more respect for reptilian creatures. Okay, let's get on with it. I don't think we're going to be on that long. I think maybe 40 minutes at the most, but here goes. So, that is the Sydney Opera House, the world-renowned, beautiful architecture. It is supposed to resemble the sails of the ships, the great ships that entered the waters surrounding Australia, those same ships that managed to bring all types of disease and vermin. And listen, that's enough about the Europeans, but all the disease and including cats. As you know, cats are an invasive species, right? The feline is an invasive species. Also, what else did they bring? Well, they had the dingo, so they're kind of used to dogs. However, they did manage to wipe out the what was that tiger, that thing that looked like a tiger and a dog in one? They did manage to wipe that out. And somewhere along the way, they destroyed the dodo bird too, but that was another place. Anyway, so I guess that's there to and listen, it's not a laughing matter, but I guess they put that there as a reminder to the First Nation people. We're here and we ain't going nowhere, and they have been there ever since. So that was my rather awkward brief history of the reason why the Sydney Opera House looks like. Anyway, it is beautiful architecture, though. That is a beautiful, beautiful structure. And ignoring what it resembles, even if there was no such thing as a ship, it is a very striking building. One of the best examples of brutalist architecture anywhere in the world. Okay. So that's the PC version of it. Okay. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Now imagine you're a tourist in the is Sydney Harbor, right? Imagine you're a tourist and you're taking images of the opera house, and then all of a sudden there is a 5-minute montage celebrating the visit of King Charles and Godzilla, the Queen Consort. Imagine that. There's nothing you could do about it. I mean, it's just a fact, right? And of course, there is some history being made here because do you know Charles is the first king, the first ruling monarch, reigning monarch to actually ever go to Australia? I mean, think about it. Before that, that voyage would have been too long to go by any other means than by ship. And of course, the other kings of the United Kingdom, they wouldn't have gone by ship. And Queen Victoria, I don't think she ever went to India. She certainly wasn't going to go to Australia. So Queen Elizabeth, well, it seemed easy for her because she had the Royal Yacht Britannia, so that made it easy. Technically advanced ship at its time. But aside from that, I don't know that any. I don't think any other sovereign has been there besides Elizabeth II. So this is monumental if you care about those sort of things. But little did these people know that they're very peaceful and very looks like a very clear spring night. It's spring there, right? Looks like that spring night in Australia was disrupted by a something that seems like a comic book character that just kind of pops out at any given time, especially oh boy, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. But this superhero only comes out at a certain time of the month. Is Tampax Man. And the odd thing is, it seems like wherever Charles goes, this superhero seems to just pop out of nowhere, but only on a monthly cycle, only once a month. Woo! So if you're those tourists, um, there's a good chance that it's a good chance that not only would you have the phenomenon of being in Australia during the visit of a reigning monarch from the United Kingdom, but also to be there at a time when the Tampax Man shows up. So it's a twofer. It is really a twofer. So you know what I'm saying? A rather peaceful, tranquil night has been made that much more exciting by this superhero whose identity we know not. We know not the identity of this superhero. However, we do know that he only tends to show up in places where you can find Charles III. So if he goes to Paris, well, if it's the right time of month, he just shows up. He just shows up. Um, and the thing I haven't worked out yet is, does he fly or does he use a cycle? You see what I just did there? Does he fly or does he have a cycle? I think he probably has a cycle. That's how. So if you're ever if you're ever cramping and you feel like there's an emergency, not to worry, because this superhero may show up to save the day. So anyway, so far I would say that the people of Sydney are breathing a sigh of relief as there is help around. No more racing to the loo and hoping that the machine is full, or hoping that you got a quarter to put in the machine. Don't worry about that, because there's a superhero out there that will save the day. Also, there is a royal reporter that you may recognize that decided to go there because, I mean, after all, that's her meal ticket, isn't it? Rebecca English tweeted, hold on, let me put this on a bigger screen so I could see it. Okay. Oh, is that better? Let me pull it closer to me. There we go. Rebecca English says, today, in today's mail on Sunday, news from Royal Visit Australia, including how the sight of an excited lady rushing out in her dressing gown. I wonder if she was looking for the superhero, rushing out in her dressing gown to wave to the king, tickled the royal party. I also revealed Queen Camilla enjoying a break. India, what is that? Break India on route to, on route and, wait a minute, enjoying a break, India on route and important initiative um, from the king. What is break India? Maybe it's the heat getting to her. I don't know. But anyway, Graham Smith says it's unclear what Camilla was taking a break from, but the welcome to Australia has been muted and indifferent. Yeah, it has been muted and indifferent. So, anyway, so their favorite mouse, their favorite mouthpiece, Rebecca English, is there so that she can spin the story. They need to keep her close. Um, First of all, they need somebody that's going to sample the food to make sure it hasn't been tampered with. And with her appetite, that's a privilege. Second of all, if there's any embarrassing situation, being the head of the Royal Rota, being the gatekeeper for the institution, she is definitely well equipped to make sure that she spins the story in any way necessary so not to embarrass Fred and Gladys. Okay, and to continue here, as you can see there, Charles and Camilla light up Sydney as Republicans pledge to be on best behavior. So there's not going to be some big shouting match or something like that. There's not going to be, it's going to be very tamed. I'm very sure of that. I wouldn't expect anything outrageous. However, Republic has promised to make their voices known in some way. And of course, that's what I'm looking forward to, is to see how Republic engage. So let me see here. Now, I was kind of stalling a bit. I've been ready, but I was hoping to find something because church just started. They went to a church service, and I was hoping to catch any kind of protest possible. But unfortunately, there are no photos just yet. So let me take a quick look at Graham Smith's page and see if he's posted anything. Oh, okay. This is nope. I'm trying to see if Graham Smith has posted anything interesting. And so far, not. Let me go over to one of the squatties who has shared some video, but they said there are some First Nation, Aboriginal First Nation protesters there. But when I looked at the video, I could not hear or see anything that appeared to be protests. I'm checking Chris Ship with a P, not a T, and still nothing. Okay. Okay, let me take a quick look see here. Because I want some messiness. And so far, they are not. I don't see any. Oh well. That's okay. It's coming. It is coming. Aha. All right. I see at least one Palestinian flag. Um, but yeah, so far I don't see any visible images of protests besides that flag. And that's in the distance. I think the police are being very, very careful. Okay. Yeah. And there is quite a presence. So, all right. So for now, there's nothing. Now, also it says White Charles should call the bluff of these drongo and ungracious Aussies and announce he'll quit as their head of state by the late Queen's biographer. Well, listen, the easiest way to get the people to do something is to tell them to not do it. So I think they're trying to do some reverse psychology here. And it may backfire on them because, after all, Brexit has been a total bust. It has been nightmarish. Brexit has been a disaster. And what I just found out from listening to the professor is that by the time the bill comes in, the divorce from the European Union is likely to cost, I believe they said it was $50 billion a pounds, 50 billion pounds that they have to pay. And this is something that was agreed upon. And they're using that as an excuse for all of these austerity measures. But anyway, I won't go into that one right now, but that is unfortunate because, as per usual, it is the little people that pay. Always. It is the poorest among us that have to pay the price for some very stupid, stupid decisions. Okay. Well, that's exactly what I was looking at just now. Is that's where I'm looking at that right now. But I played the sound and I don't see. Let me do a refresh. I played the video, but I don't see any sound. I do see the video. So, not exactly what we're looking for. Plus, I don't see the yellow signs. I'm looking for the yellow signs. And when I see that, then I will grab it. But until then, nothing. I just want to make sure that old sausage fingers get the welcome that he deserves for being such a crappy father. Okay. moving on. So I do have a couple of sound bites. Uh-oh. Okay. Now I'm not getting up, says the lazy person. I hope this speaker works because I'm not getting up. I didn't just get comfortable. I didn't just stretch my leg out the way I like it. Oh. Yes. Okay. 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 Wait, wait, wait. Was that a boo? I'll let you all decide. I'll let you all decide. Okay, I do have that one. I do have that one. Let me see. I will share it with you. Promise. I will share it. Okay, now it's running to grab a let me see and they it says and have left that first black SUV had Charles and Camilla in it, now running to grab a protester. I don't know what that means, but okay, so let's see what we got here. Let me see if I can sort this out. Okay, yeah. Got that one. I will share it with you. Give me just a moment to okay. Okay, here it goes. Here goes. Let me try that. Yeah, I think they got the protesters tucked away somewhere. I think they got the protesters tucked away somewhere. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for being here. Um yeah, Crappy Dad seemed to have gotten out of there before things got too loud. So okay, well, it is what it is. I'm still going to look for some more. If I find something later, I will share it with you. Okay, in the meantime, let me play this soundbite for you. There's the guy on the left there. It's called The Spence, is his Twitter uh, page, I guess. Let's see what he has to say about this.
Hello, I'm John Fain. This is the seat of Australian democracy, Royal Exhibition Building, where the Parliament first sat at Federation. The seat of our democracy is not Westminster or Buckingham Palace or the Windsor Castle. No, it's right here in Australia. And let's hope next time a member of the British royal family visit, they do it as a foreign dignitary. You can join the Australian Republican movement. You know how. Do it now. Hello, I'm John Fain. This is the seat of a.
Okay, so that was this guy. Now, let me. Oh, you know what? I don't think I saved the other one. Give me just a second here, though. I can find them. And it's actually what I mentioned yesterday. Let me see. Dr. Nick. Okay. What does Dr. Nick say?
Did you know that 40% of Aussies are in the dark about who our head of state is? And when you think about it, if you went up and asked 4 out of 10 people in the street whether they thought that the British king was our head of state, they'd laugh at you. I reckon they'd probably be right. What are we doing in 2024? King as our head of state? Well, you may ask, and we should ask that question with King Charles visiting. Is this going to be the last time that a British monarch visits as our head of state? And the answer is going to be yes.
Okay.
Did you?
So, and just for this to be dramatic, I guess that's why he's kind of standing in the dark there as he mentions this. Now, we have a star in the house. Let me put her link at the top of the chat. VS speaks royally. Not only does she have a Sussex friendly space, but VS Speaks Royally is one of the moderators here at Royal Sussex. Whenever the notion hits her, I mean, she's don't have to, but um, I'm just honored that she accepted the wrench, and yeah, it makes me feel special. So anyway, thank you so much for being here, VS Speaks Royally. I had popped in earlier while you were on. But I was kind of multitasking. So, but I did pop in for a while this morning. Thank you so much for looking out for our faves. Okay, moving on. Now, taxpayer funded tampons finally arrive in Australia. Now, I guess this is like a parody uh, space called, or web page is called The Chaser. Excitement around Australia as taxpayer funded tampons have finally arrived in Australia, with King Charles making his first visit since his coronation. The king, who has always dreamt of being crowned as a tampon, finally is living his dream down under. Gosh, that sounds weird. I've waited so long for this moment, said the 32-year-old Georgia, while trying to hold it together during her cramps. It just makes common sense to bring tampons to anyone. I mean, sure, this trip is costing way more than experts said it would cost to roll out sanitary products, but it's still worth the cost. So, but they didn't stop there. Check this out. The so-called king yet to pull out a sword from stone. And then there's this, which I can barely see, but let me try. Um, there we go. Ooh, ooh. Okay. I wanted to do my King Charles impersonation for this one, but it's not so easy to stay in character. I'm struggling with mold in the apartment I'm renting. What can I do? And that question comes from male 22. So it appears as though not only is Charles the reigning monarch of the United Kingdom and 14 realms, he's also he has an advice column. So it says here, oh oh dear, mold is positively terrible thing to have in one's home. Almost as dirty as renting a house to live in. No, no, no. I recommend you immediately cease bad habits and purchase a nice, affordable home in a nice area, somewhere like Torrick or Brighton. Charles goes on to say, we had some mold. I can't do it because I keep laughing. We had some mold, in Windsor. One of the staff told me, so I said, well, if you would be so terribly kind as to remove the mold, I'll just wait here. But then I had to go to an event for the poor's, for the poor's, plural, and and it was all sorted when I got back. And then, interestingly enough, by coincidence, there was someone named Meghan who just happens to be 43 years old who said, How do you deal with family drama? And Charles replied, Oh, ho, ho, ho. Family drama indeed, my girl. I have had my share of it. And of course, as anyone well knows, I think it's important to stay the course, even if it makes people uncomfortable. Drama is a bit like the wet dog smell in a hunting cravat. You can't just stuff it away or leave it by the fire. You got to expose it to the open air so the smell has somewhere to go. In the end, it's like I always say, it doesn't matter if people don't like me, I'm the king. And then there was someone who named Sid 27. Sid 27. Isn't that the name of the guy that said that Charles and Camilla is his real parents? Let me see. Is that his name? That rather weird looking guy? Of course, anything that's the offspring of Charles and Camilla would look weird. Let me see. Oh, his name is Simon, not Sid. Okay, I thought it was this guy, but it's not. Sid says Charles choosing a name for a baby is an incredibly important thing, old chap. What you have to do is choose three names that are relatives of yours and then just string them together like Charles, Philip, Arthur, George. You only end up using the first one anyway. You want to make sure it's it's a name that your royal advisors tell you is okay. People tend to get a bit upset when you don't follow protocol. Just like just ask my wife or any of my sons. Mm. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back over here. That's what I need to do. And then the last question comes from Sandy. Charles, let me see. Republic, isn't that a beach in Greece? Take holidays as you like, my friends. It's good for you to get out in open air. I found the Scottish Highlands to be wonderful for my health and air, and it's so quaint to see see how the peasants live. I used to enjoy all sorts of places that I don't go to anymore for some reason, like India and Ireland. So, yeah, so Charles has an advice column in the Chaser. I have to keep an eye on that one. And this is where the church service is taking place. Chris Ship, with a P, not a T, wanted to make sure that there was a turnout. So that way he wouldn't have gone to Australia for nothing. So he tweeted, any followers in Australia may wish to know the public have been invited to meet King Charles and Queen Camilla after their Sydney church service on Sunday. It's been added to the program on top of Tuesday's public event at Sydney Opera House, St. Thomas Anglican Church, North Sydney. So I wonder if they did this last minute to make sure that there wasn't any protests. You know what I mean? Because he said it's been added to the program. They probably have already known that they were going to go there, right? But they probably kept it very close to their vest so that they could not get that many protesters there. And it looks like it must have worked because there was not that many. I mean, getting people out early on a Sunday, last minute like that would take some doing, I guess. So, all right, score one for them. Uh-huh. Yeah, he's probably advising them. Let's see here. King Charles is not the adversary of an Australian republic, but hasn't the time of the crown gone? Um, and this is a column. Let me see here. Charles III has rather selfishly come to see you, Australians. Your sovereign of whom we are all subjects. Oh, I didn't know that they call the people in Australia subjects. Subjects, if you don't like that word, then you can change it in the Constitution. Probably best to wait for him to go home first because he didn't ask for that and may be a bit embarrassed if you make a fuss about it. And the sad thing is, you can see in his face, as you couldn't see in his mother's, a very engaging assertion of blamelessness. He has so often had to bear the demeanor that is, he is, the queen never was, frankly, a fellow pilgrim of ours. And we all hope, even if he doesn't have to pack his own bags, that his pilgrimage to the, is that antipodes, leaves him in good health. And as for the blamelessness, well, he is blameless. He is not the adversary of the Australian Republic. It is an enduring affection for the monarchy, particularly, but not only the aging Australians, that keep the Australian monarchy alive. As advisories, they dish us squarely in the referendum of 1999. I would be a bad sport not to say good on him. As for Charles, he has correctly and genuinely said it is up to us to settle the issue. So that is what this person said. Let me go on to the next one. Oh, and it looks like there was a meeting of some Republicans. Now we're getting to it. Let me see. It says here, get me talking about why Australians should become a republic and it's difficult to stop. Wonderful to meet the next generation, keeping the flame alive. So, as you can see, there are, well, a few young people there, but they did have a meeting to talk about becoming a republic. And then, of course, there were a few people that were upset about this post. You are a disgrace. You clearly haven't bothered thinking of the alternative and how Australia would be adversely affected. I would not be bragging about this or the next generation if if I were you, because they definitely don't have, what is that, lateral or critical thinking. And then this person said he voted for the Republic in the last referendum. This time I would be voting for the monarchy, blah, blah, blah. And the last one says, just a reminder that you idiots lost the 1999 referendum. So there are some Republicans some monarchists that are really pushing back. Let me see. Welcome, Charles, King of Great Britain alone. This article, pretty much, it was. Oh, let me move myself out the way so I can see that. Let me see. This is like the very last part of the article. Without constitutional change, there are ways we could, in effect, strengthen the role of the governor general. Most importantly, the choice could demand bipartisan support through a majority in both houses of parliament. The Constitution merely provides for the appointment to be made by the sovereign, although in practice he or she will accept the prime minister's advice. But we can go further, as the king is welcome at ceremonial events in the coming days. Can we welcome him as King of Great Britain, deliberately ignoring the constitutional reality that makes him our king as well? A republic by stealth, yes, but one I suspect Charles III would well understand. So I think basically he's saying, do not call him the King of Australia, refer to him as the King of Great Britain, right? And the Governor General isn't he the one that signs the laws on behalf of Charles? He's the one who stands in for Charles since Charles has his red box in the UK, the red box for all of the laws and bills and such in Australia. I guess the governor general is the one that has to sign that. I'm not really sure how that works, but I think that's how it works. Now, let's get on to Afro Annie. Afro Annie is playing with fire, y'all. Afro Annie is playing with fire. She can't leave well enough alone. If I was her, if I was found unconscious with Newports scattered all over the ground, with my afro messed up, and of course, what appeared to be a bit of a you know, breakage of the skin on my forehead, I would stay away from horses, wouldn't you? But nope, not our Afro Annie. Afro Annie, look at her. You can tell she's afraid, po thing. Po thing. She's afraid. It's like she wants to pet the horse, but she's afraid because she don't want to get kicked in the head again. I looked at this photo and I'm just like, Princess Anne, you don't have to do this. You are still suffering from PTSD. Stay away from them horses. You got into it with Camilla, and she probably, seeing that they're all within the same species, she probably has sent word through the muses of the royal family that if anybody gets close, take her out, right? And I'm just saying, I don't want to make a conspiracy or anything, but I don't think that that was an accident when Princess Anne was found unconscious with Lucy's all over the ground. I mean, the staff at Princess Anne's estate, every so often, they still find the rogue Newport in the grass from that day that that tragedy happened. And look at there, look at there. I mean, you probably can't tell because it's a photo, but see how it's kind of blurry around her hands? That's because her hands are trembling. She's afraid of horses now. I don't know if she'll ever ride again because she'll want to get kicked. I don't blame her. She don't want to get kicked. And ever since she took that blow to the head, she really hasn't been herself. Like she said, Anne can't recall accident. She don't know if it was a kick or if, I don't know, somebody threw a rock at her. Who knows what happened? But she did spend some days in the hospital. She had a concussion. So she would never ride a horse again. And I feel bad too because that kick in the head was so severe that for some reason she started thinking she was Johnny Walker Red. Remember that? She started walking just like Johnny Walker Red. So that horse kicked her so hard that she started thinking that she was the owner of a whiskey company. That's how bad that contusion was. She started, her mind started drifting. And then, of course, sometimes she thinks she's Fred G. Sanford. People have seen her around town riding around in some salvage truck. Who knows where she got the truck from? But I think all of this was a result of that horse kicking her in the head. Sometimes she's Johnny Walker Red, sometimes she's Fred G. Sanford, and sometimes she's Napoleon. I feel like I'm watching the Golden Girls. Remember how remember how Sophia one day Sophia had told Dorothy that it's time to get the temple, and she's like, "Ma, actually today is what did she say? She said today is Friday and we're Italian. She's like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's what happened to Anne as a result of being injured by that horse. Some days she's Fred G. Sanford, some days she's Napoleon, and other days she's Johnny Walker Red. So I think that she may have multiple personalities because of that. So if you're listening to my voice, Princess Anne, it's too soon to start going back to the stables. You're not strong enough yet. You're still having hallucinations. And of course, even what was really scary to me was during the coronation. Did you guys notice that she looked over to her husband? She thought he was Napoleon and she said, "And what is it you do?" Yeah, that's how bad off she is. I'm telling you, she's in trouble. She's in trouble. William ain't the only one that's weird. And I don't know, did we do something to her? Did we do something to her? Why does Camilla scowl at the camera every time she's out in public? Have you noticed that? I have a collection of these images where Camilla scowls at the camera. Now, you didn't manage to somehow eliminate your rival. You have managed to divide the brothers, turn their father against them, even though you were not supposed to be queen, you were supposed to be princess consort. Now everybody's calling you the queen, and you're still not satisfied. And still, every time she catches a camera looking at her, she scowls at people. I don't get it. Everything is going your way. On the coronation day, you didn't want anybody else to wear a crown because you didn't want to be overshadowed. So you were the only other person besides Charles wearing a crown. And yet she's very angry and combative. I don't get it. And the other thing I was wondering, um, is that the pattern of her dress, the feathers, or is that her? Because I can't tell. Is she naked or is that the pattern of the dress? Because sometimes I look at her and I still see silky chicken. And then, of course, as we get closer to Thanksgiving, I see turkeys. But either way, I can't tell whether it's feathers on her dress or if that's, I don't know, maybe she ain't got nothing on. Oh, I'm being so messy today. Anyway, you guys, I am done. I told you about 40 minutes. I am done. Oh, I got one more thing. I'm sorry. I got one more thing. You know what? The ancestors do not like the way that our Meghan has been treated, right? Look at that. Look at that. See what the ancestors have done? See what the ancestors have done? Yes. Yep, them ancestors. It turns out that Jeremy Clarkson has revealed he underwent a heart procedure after he experienced a sudden deterioration in his health. Writing in his column, The Sunday Times, the 64-year-old said he had symptoms of feeling clammy, a tightness in his chest, and pins and needles in his left arm after returning from a holiday. Now, I'm actually impressed that he has a heart because I wasn't sure he had one. So this is news to me. I was having my doubts that he even had a heart. So turns out he had some kind of procedure. Now, how severe or serious it was is unclear. The thing is, when something like that happens, when you're a celebrity, it's best to hide the true severity of things because you don't want people to feel as though you're unable to fulfill a contract, which is why I'm very suspicious of Sharon Osbourne. She says it was Ozempics, but I wonder if there's something else going on because even the great Aretha Franklin downplayed the fact that she was actually very, very ill. And yeah, she was pretending otherwise and still booking shows and stuff. So, not unusual. So, who knows how severe it is? All I know is the ancestors are not pleased. And as you can see, just for flavor, I used a backdrop of the ancestors. So, um, yeah, there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you, as always, for the moderators keeping this a safe space. Also, there's a link at the top of the chat. VS Speaks Royally, another safe space for the Sussex Squad. So do make sure you go over there and like, subscribe, and share. I don't think Connie Bomber's on today, is she? Oh, well, I didn't get a chance to take a good photo of the care package she sent me, and I do want to share it with you guys because it was just chock full of goodies and stuff. So I want you to see what she sent me. But yeah, I will try to make sure I have that ready for tomorrow. So, anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Love you guys. And thank you for being so supportive. And let me see what else. I think that's it. I think that's it. So, I had a feeling that the Sussexes might have something for tonight. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they didn't want to overshadow the trip to Australia. So maybe we won't see anything from them until those two pensioners go back to the UK. So yeah, maybe they'll lay low. Maybe, maybe not. Although it didn't stop Harry from going to that surfing place. So we'll see. We'll see. But I don't know. I just, for some reason, it's Saturday night, and I thought, I don't know, like a date night for them or something. I don't know why I had that feeling, but it's still early yet. Who knows? We might get something from them. No special occasion or anything. I just had that feeling. So we'll see what happens. I hope so. It would be nice to see Harry and Meghan tonight. Oh, I just found another protest video. Uh-oh. Let me see. Protesters shout, "Go home, King." Really? Do you guys want to see it? Hold on. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, so anyway, I'm done. If you guys want to see that video, I'm going to share it with you. Now it's getting juicy. Ooh, is that another one? Yes, it is. Okay, let me grab that one too. It's a twofer. Okay. All right, I have that one too. Yeah, this is the First Nation. Oh my goodness, is that a picture of Lizzie on her t-shirt? It sure is. Okay. Let me grab those. Let me grab those. Looks like everybody's not happy to see the Father of the Year. Oh, oh no, that's not it. No, 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 no. Uh, okay, here's one. Okay, here we go. Okay, one more. One more. Let me see here. I told you I thought they had them kind of tucked away somewhere where you couldn't see them, so they weren't allowed to.
Not enough justice! Not enough justice!
Is your little, is one of your backpacks literally green?
Yeah, they had them all tucked away, you guys. That's why you couldn't see them in the other video. Okay, so the ancestors are at it again. Yes, they are. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow. It has been lovely. And of course, we don't want any harm or anything to happen to those two old people or the protesters, but just a peaceful assembly and that they can express their feelings. That is the only thing we want. But yeah, nobody should be harmed from any of this. So, um, in the meantime, I will see you all later. Let's see. What's here? You can refresh the TV. Thank you, Tamara. All right. Yeah, I was look. You know what? I don't think that the yellow flags, the Republic yellow flags, I didn't see any of those. This is probably something very organic, and I see some of them are wearing the Palestinian T-shirts and such. So very different from what I was hoping. I wanted to see Graham and the gang, but they are likely to be at some of the other events. So Angela M64, thank you for being here. Oh, thank you, Cookies and Cream. Yes, please pray for our faves, each other's. Oh, hydrate, and so on and so forth. All of those things. Oh, what's that? And then join. What is India? Is that what is that? Had a break in India? And then joined Charles. Sorry, 40 minutes back. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what India is. What is that? Is that like a restaurant or is that like a cultural center or something? Let me see. Queen Camilla takes a break in India. Bye.